It's been a lot of speculation going on with the NBA lately. A lot of things popping up when it comes to, is that assist real? Is those rules being called real? Is, the championships over the years? A lot of stuff all of a sudden now coming out. So now we get to go ahead and discuss it. Everyone, welcome to GNT Sports, episode 31. Everyone, welcome back. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hey, we have a great episode in store for y'all guys, so just sit back and relax, be part of the conversation. Tune in at the bottom when it comes to your comments. We're looking forward to everything that y'all guys have to say about this subject. So without further ado, I want to one-on-one introduce my crew. Tone, the promoter, what you guys say to the people?
Yeah, yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 31. I'm gonna say episode Reggie Miller. That's what I'm gonna do every week. The number of episodes, I'm just give the player that comes to mind. On episode Reggie Miller, we got a lot to talk about. It's the NBA. That's why I use Reg. Let's get it.
As always, welcome back, Kev, back in the building.
What's going on? Thank you guys for watching again. We got a lot to talk about, just like what Tone said. Let's go.
And last but not least, the real Jaylen Brown.
Yes, sir.
Bird gang in the building.
What's going on, everybody? Fresh back from Vegas, celebrating another year of my birthday. Thank everybody for the B-Day shout out, and ready for this episode. Let's get it.
Together, we make up your crew this week, the GNT crew. Thank y'all once again for tuning in. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. We got a lot to go ahead and discuss. And y'all guys know as soon as we dive into a conversation, next thing you know, an hour and a half pass and we only like halfway through. So let's go ahead and dive right into this conversation.
But wait. Before we start, we got to go back to the real Jaylen Brown. You go back, yeah, like listen, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So obviously,
bro.
So look, listen,
off
right?
The ground. You see that video footage editing there? You didn't and I got the shades on.
Yo, it looked like you laying down dunking that, man. Like first,
yeah.
Wait though. Well, obviously, y'all don't know. We talking behind the scenes, and he was trying to say that I didn't watch our own video. Like, now I tuned in. You know what I'm saying? I tuned in and seen that. I was like, all right, I see boy. You know what I mean? See boy. He come on here like, yo, did y'all see me do the Jaylen Brown thing? I'm like, where? He's like, in the video. You ain't even watch our video. Come on, man. Come on. I'm like, no, bro.
All
then
that
when you
content I got
seen
in Vegas for us, and you didn't see it, man.
Yo, I'm like, come on. Then I see it. I was like, man, I didn't know that was you.
Hold on a second.
I didn't know that was my man. I just
There you go.
Oh my God. It's Lex Luthor.
That's what it was.
Yo, they gonna be like, oh my God, he ain't got no hair there. They ain't know. But yo, like I ain't gonna front. Like I don't know if that was the reason why I just was like, yo, that ain't Joel. But man, to go back to the point, yo, I watched that and seen it, and didn't know that was you though, brother. Look good though, man. Look good.
Listen, man, I'm the real Jay Brown. Yeah. Fun fact. That's actually
we see it. I mean, it's a still shot. I want to see it in action, but that's cool.
Listen,
I'm gonna take that.
As long as it's about 4 foot, 48, I got it. No problem. But at least I did it right, though. Y'all not giving me some credit for not looking. That's what I'm talking about.
I did it right. Okay.
But fun fact. Listen, fun fact. My original last name, I got 2 birth certificates. This is for real. This is no cap. I'll bring them on.
Wait.
I'll show you guys.
You ain't telling on yourself right now, are you? You think that you got two?
No, I'm not telling on myself.
Right.
No. But my original name was Joel Brown Jr. That's why I said the real Jay Brown. So that was actually my first legal name. And then I didn't come out looking black. So they knew I belonged to Santiago, and they changed my name. That's what it is. My
I didn't come out black, so they changed
Brown
his name.
Jr. And yes, that's a fun fact. And I got the birth certificate, and I had a legal name change. I got the details for it.
Okay,
I got the documents.
What a great
I'm the real Jay Brown out here.
The artist formerly known as Jay Brown. Okay.
That's my name on the streets.
They're like, yo, he was supposed to be chocolate. He came out caramel.
It was like, bro, no. See, you went automatically to the complexion. They knew I was 5'4" and I'm freaking 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
That was the giveaway. That was the good giveaway. They was like, no, he look a little, this boy short. Nah, he like, he ain't no Joel Brown Jr. What's going on?
You ain't no cop Jay Reed.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
He changed his name because of the height. All right, Jay Brown.
Yeah.
Jay
My
Brown
dad was like,
height
no, he
requirements.
look like me. I gotta change. You gotta get a legal name change. That boy look just like me. That's factual, man. That's facts here.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. You learn something every day.
But
man.
I did the dunk right, bro. I did not look at, and I had some shades on. I said, let me put the shades on for my man.
The stunners,
and I'm not gonna look.
Oh, so that was double. That was double.
Yeah,
that was double. You couldn't see anything. You got the shades on.
I couldn't see, and I had the shades on. That man, Jaylen Brown, get with me, man. Next year you in there, I'm gonna give you some tips on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna get Kevin to do that next time.
So you don't dunk and then do it, right?
So all I need Jaylen Brown to come out and say. All Jaylen Brown has to come out and say is, I was just dabbing after my dunk, because that like bro, what? It was like he was like, oh, I forgot. Yo, it was done already. It was done already, bro. Like,
then he looked around. Did you see him after he was
like, as if we didn't just see him do that?
Like, nobody just see that.
Shaq in the corner videotaped the whole thing.
But you're on TV, bro. Everybody saw that. Like, I don't
they said they had started a petition not to do that again, not to compete in a slam dunk contest again, Where's that petition? I need to sign it,
Yes.
Because that was horrible. Right. That was horrible.
All right. Well, something else that was horrible was these videos that we went ahead and found, and we want to go ahead and have a discussion on. I want to go ahead and play this one first. This one here is from a podcast that we all kind of like watch and know. I let the video kind of like explain itself.
Objective for telling the ref, like, fam, I saw Netflix.
Elvis was the king of rock, and Timmy was the king of fixing games.
Bro, try to give Cleveland that game.
You saw that?
Yes. I watch everything.
Yes. Fam.
Oh, yeah.
I started to understand the game within the game of the NBA, and I'll give you an example. I was in Philadelphia, and I'm refereeing Sixers Bulls. They were cracking down on a spin move that they wanted the officials to call traveling. And Michael Jordan does the spin move, and I make the call.
Michael on the block, travel.
Phil Jackson comes flying off the bench, and he starts giving me shit. And I said, wait a second, Phil. You know as well as I do, that's the spin move that they're telling us to call. And he said, they may want that play called, but they certainly don't want it called on him. And he pointed at Jordan, who walked by and just stared at me. I got in the locker room. The other referee said, they want that call, but don't call it on him.
I was spotlighted in my actual game.
Yeah.
I fouled out. I had like 6 points. I fouled out. Me fouling out with 6 points as the franchise player, I'm getting called a bum.
Listen, I called what the NBA wanted me to call. They said, go out and make sure, you concentrate on this tonight. That's what I went out and concentrated on.
As players, we can't say so. You just got to play along. You got to play the game. But when you think about it, it's like, how many games was this happening?
When you're hired into the league, you think everything is done based on the rules, how they're written in the rule book.
Objective for telling the ref.
So, in that video there's a lot of juice coming from that video when it comes to just how current and retired NBA players just felt in general about what was going on in the NBA. So, the question that I have right now for us to go ahead and post, all right, NBA, everything that we know, was it real? These champions that we know of, how real is these things, these stats? We get into the stats things later, but Tone and Joel, I know y'all really wanted to dive into this one for a nice little bit. I'll let y'all guys go ahead and go for it.
Man, I'll say this. The boy Donahue, I watched the interview of him on DJ Glad, and the NBA, just like anything else that we watch on TV, is entertainment at the end of the day, right? So they got to entertain, people. There'd be agendas, there'd be meetings that these referee organizations be having, and certain things go on, and they have certain narratives that they paint, and they follow along with that, clearly. He got caught up on the betting side of things, but even if it wasn't the betting side of things, there still was a narrative out there. It's just like they could just not referees. Obviously, games got to be played. Any sport, games can't just obviously a referee can't make a team win or lose the game, but obviously they can dictate momentum. You know what I mean? They dictating, runs. Things was just like if a bleeding starts to happen, then they calling phantom calls on good defensive players, so they won't be in the game anymore because the NBA wanted to go to, they wanted to have high scoring every night. Clearly, like we seeing nowadays, and it's just like that's who control the game in essence, man. Like I said, games got to be played. No, they can't be won just by the whistle, but they hold a pretty big responsibility in a lot of these games, man. And he came out with stories that he's done and encounters that he's had, and Rasheed Wallace wanted to beat him up. You know what I mean? ran at him after a game. You know what I mean? Tried to fight him, and when it was just funny. I seen Rasheed Wallace on the interview talking about it, and he was like, I could just remember when I found out, that he was even being indicted on that, and he was like, he was on a yacht at a party, like, or he had a yacht on vacationing with some fellow NBA players, and got the call and was like, yo, they got him, bro. And he was like, they got him. They got who? He's like, the referee, man, the boy Donahue, man. They got him for fixing game. And she was like, he let out the most loudest, outburst, like, I know it. You know what I mean? It was just like, after a while, players started to see and sense that this was going on. I mean, he had the encounter with AI. And he was just like, it was him, his crossover, said he was turning the ball over, you know what I mean, when he would do the move. But it was because AI threatened a fellow referee. So he said he was, quote unquote, I guess, going to kill him or something. I don't know if he said it in those that term, but I guess it was so vicious that they were mad as an organization, a referee organization, that AI was only fine. So they're like, all right, he likes to do his crossover move, so tonight we're just going to call it, uncontrollably. Like every time he does it, we're just going to call it. And I think he said after his first couple of times that he did it, he said AI even just came up to him, didn't even like really want to argue with him all like that. But he said he was just like, yo, how long is this going to go on? And he said that, Donnie said he looked at him like, what you talking about? And he said he looked at him like, come on, man, you know what I'm talking about. And he was like, we both kind of like smirked at each other and walked away. So it's just like to what Andre Iguodala had just said. It was like, as players, it was like we knew it was going on. So it was just like we had to go along with it. And it was just like damn, man, these referees, man, a lot of different outcomes came in games, I believe, probably, if, the referees wasn't that influenced, and especially that guy, And then who even knows if he would even got exposed because of the way he got exposed. You know what I mean? Like he told him not to do certain business with this certain dude, or don't tell this guy the intel that you got. You know what I mean? Because then once you did that, he just started placing bets. The other guy, he didn't tell on him. He just started placing the same bets that they were placing because he knew it was influencing those games. And then they said it's a percentage. Like I guess the national average gamblers, I guess success rate is like 50-something%, right? They were winning at like 87, 89% a clip.
Jesus.
So that alone was going to get them investigated by, because they like nobody hits like that. You know what I mean? Like they was cashing in on, and then the other dudes started doing it. So it was just like a snowball, effect after that. But he was definitely they dictate. They got narratives, man. Certain things, man, that you could go look. I seen a stat that they said that somebody went. Now I don't know how true this is, but they said somebody went back and checked and watched watch every game Patrick Mahomes played in, and on 53 interceptions. Well, I think he's thrown 53 interceptions. And like half or more than half of them was like called back or something on the penalty. Something like ridiculous, something crazy. So it was just like, damn, what, this dude can't throw an interception? It was just like every time he threw an interception, it must have been a foul on the defense. So it's definitely a lot to dive in, like you said, on that topic. It's been going on for years. I don't know how prevalent it is now to today's game. But back then, they didn't want me. Now that I'm hot, they all on me. But no, back then, man, it was crazy the way those referees did it, man. That's my take on it.
Go ahead, Joel. Let's go ahead and add to it. But just the last little bit that you said, Tone, just kind of hold on to that because that's going to touch on to the next bit of this conversation.
Right. So, I mean, Tone touched on it and hit every single point that I was going to hit on as well. But, I mean, the only thing I would say is I feel like they're just grabbing control of the game. And, they're inflicting and putting their willpower as far as like, look, like we're running this league and we have an agenda that we want to put out there. And just like you said, I'm just following the directives that there was given down to us as far as, calling certain plays, looking out for certain things, something that they normally wouldn't do on any other given night. So I just feel like that's just their way to show, like, kind of like, for lack of better terms, like who's boss type thing. Like, hey, we're the league, we're running things, and, you're not just going to come out here and perform and do what you need to do, and we're not going to just let you run with it. You know what I mean? Which is weird, but, that's just how things is. I just feel like it's more of like a power type thing and just making sure that, at the end of the day, they know who's running it, whether it's the NFL, NBA, MLB, whatever it is. I mean, because you got some questionable calls. I mean, even this past week, with a couple of the games, and, they're already protesting with the Detroit game and certain things like that. So I just think it's just their way of making sure that the players know, like, hey, look, like, fall in line, and we're going to let you guys know, more or less, like, what type of game you're going to be in for tonight. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it is. We're calling every single foul, but we're going to let you guys play so you guys can run up the score or whatever the case may be. But, I mean, Tone hit all the aspects as far as, like, from the ref standpoint, the organization standpoint, and, the betting side of it too. You know what I mean? And I strongly really believe that part of it. When these odds and all these things come out in Vegas and they're so close to the T, whether it was a point spread or not making the point spread or the over or under. And I feel like the only way they actually can control it is by implementing certain things to slow the game down or speed it up or whatever the case may be, depending on what side the money came on, as far as the games. Because, I mean, even the Super Bowl, it was off by like 0.5. of a point, this past Super Bowl. And it's like, damn, like, all right, yeah, everybody's saying Vegas and they hit the nail on the head. Like, yo, like for that to happen, just like these guys were sitting at an 85% for Vegas to be right 99.5% of the time, like it has to be some type of influence happening from the top.
Now, here's the thing that now I'm gonna talk from the naive point of view, which is like the blind fan. So the blind fan when I was a kid was a huge Charles Barkley fan. Like that, he was my number one player. He was my favorite player. And it don't hurt that like he came from Philadelphia. But I even followed him being a fan when he was over in Phoenix. So I absolutely love that team, with KJ and Marley and I absolutely love that team. And with having my blinders on, not thinking that any of that stuff is happening. You know what I mean? There's no extra rules being passed around. There's no, incentive of making sure that this player don't get it because they want to make sure that this guy stay on top. It's now looking at it, it's like, man, if they played it fairly, because once again, there's all speculation, we're all wondering. But if this is all true and they did play it fairly, would Charles Barkley actually have a ring? Would Patrick Ewing actually have a ring too? Like how many times that, they decided to have Jordan be that guy? And granted, Jordan is that guy. But how many times they have Jordan be that guy that stopped everybody else from getting the ring? No Reggie Miller. No, like I said, Jason Kidds, all these top guys that we've seen that was in the league. Nobody got a ring because of Jordan. Would that be different if the narrative would have been actually even keeled? Just play the game the way the game's supposed to be played instead of being influenced. That's a good question.
It is. And the way I would answer that is, see, Jordan to me, and obviously I think for the league, he was just very, very, very marketable, right?
Yeah.
So they wanted him to be the face after, Bird and Magic left. So now that they're gone, the torch got to be passed, and Jordan took that on. He had the tongue out and the ball head and jumping from the foul line. It was just like, this guy is the next guy. You know what I mean? So they wanted to give him the keys to the Bentley, which they did, and he drove that mug. You know what I mean? Like he drove it, and he stood on everything that I think the league obviously handed him. He made the league a lot of money. He made himself a lot of money. You know what I mean? He popularized it where, you know what I mean? I don't know if anybody's fandom of the sport, you know what I mean, came from like how Mike, like, you know what I mean? Like you even got guys nowadays that never even seen him play that want to either be like him or just buying his sneaks as if they were around when, they originally came out. You know what I mean? Like, you got dudes copping J's. Like I said, ain't wearing when they first ever hit the market. You know what I mean? Before they was, you know what I mean, on StockX and all that good stuff. But I mean, I'm not making an excuse. Yes, I love Jordan. I think he's the GOAT. You know what I mean? But at that time, he was just like that guy to do, to be the marketable face. And like I say, he carried the torch well, which in I guess their minds is like, oh, we got to protect this guy. We got to give him, you know what I mean, everything it is that he needs to win. And obviously, not to mention the fact that he was good. You know what I mean? Like I said, the games still have to be played. At the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like I said, you just can't blow the whistle, jump ball, and say, hey, Detroit is going to be, you know what I mean? The Lakers in the 7-game series in the championship. No. They gotta play. They gotta make shots. They gotta still do things that pertain to basketball to help win the game. And like we saying, can the ref influence that? Yes, because like you take, two of the star players like to Iguodala's point that he made, that he had the 2 fouls, or he fouled out with 6 points. He's supposed to be the star, player. He got criticized, but it was like he didn't even have a chance. You know what I mean? To do that, because they called fouls on him and he fouled out, and you sit on the bench when you got a lot of fouls, obviously, because your coach don't want you to foul out. He wants you to be there for the end of the game if your team's in the game. So that changed the complexity of the game. And I remember the boy Donahue on the interview said that, like, he knew he would tell, like, he wouldn't tell, like, he would know the Lakers was going to win only because he said Phil Jackson had sent in a tape about Kobe, getting fouled and them not calling. So he, like, at one of those referee meetings, they told every referee in the NBA, when you officiate Kobe Bryant, you are to call pretty much everything that man goes through. So then it's like, so he like, okay, with that information, every game that I know Kobe's going to play in, I know the Lakers is going to have a very good chance of winning that game. Yeah. Because they're going to foul everybody out. You know what I mean? Kobe's going to go to the line. He's going to have 40, 50 points. Lakers win big. So it was like, that was how he was influencing his bets. You know what I mean? As far as like, with the game and all that. So that right there, man, is how these referees can influence the game. And like you said, for him to go on to the betting side of things, like, look, I know the Lakers might be playing San Antonio. I know San Antonio came off a championship. They this and they that, da, 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 da. But Kobe's about to have 81 tonight because they're going to call everything under the sun. So bet Lakers. You know what I mean? So that's how it is with them refs, I think.
So
yeah,
here,
I mean, last week's episode, we were talking about who's going to be the face of the NBA, right? And it's a business. It's an entertainment business. And like Tone's saying, it's like, all right, who can we secure our product and make sure that moving forward, the NBA or the NFL are in good standing from a fan base standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, and how can we, I don't want to say make it easier, but there's always been that rumor out there, oh, he's getting those veteran calls. You know what I mean? So you always have that out there too, where, some of the veteran players, they'll be like, oh, he should have got that call. He's a veteran. Or he's not a veteran yet. He's not getting that call. So again, it's just one of those things where you can't just look the other way and not think and be like, yo, they're just probably trying to make it a little bit easier for that star player to just go off on this game. And, they know that he's a main attraction by the fans. He's marketable. And we can, hang our hat on that and just ride the wave because it's going to make us money. It's, getting our views up, our television. We're hitting our marks with that as far as, viewership and stuff like that. So, I mean, you cannot lose sight that at the end of the day, it is a business and they're looking at all those things. It's just like any other business. All right, what's not good? All right, well, let's put this, Bears and, another, let me see, what was the other? And Titans on a Thursday game. We're not going to put them on a Monday night game, prime game. That's not going to get any views. Like, it's not a good game. You know what I mean? So even from that standpoint, they're always looking at ways to increase their profit line. And whatever way they can impact it and improve on it, that's what they're doing, man. And, I still think, to Tone's point, they still have to play out the game. But, even if, say, like Kobe or Mike lost that game, but they went off, people seeing like, damn, they lost, but all they talking about, he just dropped 60, he just dropped 50, even though they lost, but everybody still witnessed somebody scoring at a high clip and is one of the star players that they're marketing.
Now, here's the funny thing, right? Now, this is when I have that man going to step up and answer a question for me. Kev, can you do me a favor? Can you read me John Stockton's all-time stats?
I got him right here. All right. Well, career stats, he averaged 13 points, 2 rebounds, 10 assists, and 51% from field goal range. Field goal percentage.
Now, how many career assists does John Stockton have?
It is. They say career stat is he averaged 10, but if you want to look all together,
Yep, all together. How many assists does he have?
you said assists, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's being very slow. You gotta stay with me for a second.
After these messages.
Sorry. Damn, it's keeps saying career just all together.
Alexa, how many total assists does John Stockton have?
John Stockton recorded 629 assists in the 2002-03 regular season, averaging 7.7 assists per game. Also, I can share the poll of the day with you each evening around 6 p.m. Would you like me to set up that routine?
Yo, tell Alexa to shut up, yo. What is he talking
Like, what is he talking about?
You need a refund. She don't know shit.
Yo, Alexa been drinking, yo. She said, John Stockton had 620. What?
Oh, Jesus. Okay, hold on.
That was Alexa from North Philly.
Okay.
Got it. 15,806 assists that John Stockton has for his career in total.
Yeah.
Once again,
That's it.
15,000.
How many years did he play?
Huh?
Yeah, how many years did he play?
Kev?
Damn it. Hold on. I thought we were done.
19 seasons.
Damn, did he? He almost played a dub? Okay.
Dude, Alexa's trying to take Kev's spot on the podcast, man. Come on, shit.
Honestly, she can
Yeah,
have
you
it. When
better-
it comes to basketball, she can have it.
You better pimp smack it, bro. Give it a Kev smackdown.
I'll make sure I'll cover my eyes like I'm blind, like Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
He played from 1984 to 2003.
Yeah.
19
right?
years. Now,
Utah.
the reason why we're talking
Points, he had 19,711.
So he literally have just a little bit less assists than he does points. Now, granted, 4,000 is 4,000, but
still, but compared to assists, you know, that's
And
a lot.
he also had someone named Karl Malone on his team.
Well, that helps.
Yeah,
But,
and who was top scorer as well, right?
I would like to also point out he is ranked 25th greatest player in NBA history.
Who is John Stockton?
Mm-hmm.
25th.
Now, going by what we see, going by what we saw, I get it. He was a great point guard, and the one that ran the screenplay better than any other. But once again, it does help when you have one of the top power forwards that ever played the game. That does help. But
my job is to create the most accurate, historical record of what occurred in a game. And I learned very quickly that was not the prevailing viewpoint. And I went to the training in Detroit. Part of this training is they would show us video clips. They show a Stockton to Malone clip, and there's a discussion, and that wasn't an assist; it was a pass. And then Malone dribbled a couple times, pump fake, and then made a tough shot, and that's great. But that's to me there's no real connection. There's no causal connection between the pass and the basket. And the majority opinion by a mile was, oh no, that's definitely an assist. I was like, what? Like, well, that's John Stockton. I left there clearly understanding that, yes, we are supposed to create the most accurate representation we can, but the NBA is also an entertainment business, and it's up to us, in very small part, as statisticians, to support or reinforce stars and excitement and fun. And that message was definitely reinforced internally within the Grizzlies. My job is to create the most accurate, historical record of what occurred in a game. And I learned very.
So that right
this
there
shit started to sound like pro wrestling.
Oh, Exactly.
What do you mean
So,
wrestling's real? Come on, Kev.
Off the turnbuckle.
You don't believe in John Cena? This man's real.
Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame, right? He's a Hall of Fame for following the script. He's a real Hall of Famer, all right. They're all Hall of Famers. They really read that script very well, and that's why they're in the Hall of Fame.
Yo, he said Vince having meetings with Goodell. This is what you do.
So just to give credit where it belongs, that was Alex Rooker. Alex Rooker is the former Grizzly scorekeeper. So he was the one that was making sure that all the scoring and everything, assists and scores and points and fouls and errors, all that stuff was accurate when it comes to the Grizzlies. And that's what they taught him during his training. Because of who he looking at could determine of what an actual assist or score or foul or whatever is. So once again, Kev, put you on the spot. You don't gotta look it up. Do you remember how many assists that John Stockton had? 15,806. I got it. So
I had the 15,000 mark.
I'm proud of you. So with that being said, gentlemen, was those stats real?
Might be like 13,000.
Well, clearly, Ball said, it's probably was countless amount of times, man, that same scenario that he just drew out with John Stockton and Karl Malone, it probably happened. Like, all right, let's just say one game Stockton had 15 assists. He probably had 9 of them was official. You know what I mean? Like if because you can't tell me that only happened once in a game. You know what I mean? That type of scenario. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I guess we have to believe it's real. It's in it just because it's in the stat book. It's in the Naismith Hall of Fame. Like, I mean, guess we have to. But from what my man just said, those numbers are flawed. So no, John Stockton to me doesn't have 15,806 assists. I give him 6,000. I don't know, man, but it probably is definitely not in the 15,000 for sure.
What you guys say, Joel? I'm just curious about what you think.
Man. There it is. How many rings does Dion Waiters have?
He has 1.
How much did he play that game?
0.
How about Shady McCoy?
He didn't play at all. He the only player that went back to back.
How many rings he got?
He got back to back, Jones. He won 2. Yo, didn't they say he the first
trying to
player?
say, these numbers could be skewed. I mean, looking back 20 years from now, they're like, damn, Shady McCoy got 2 rings. And I love Shady McCoy, but damn, bro. He was out there in the confetti like he actually did something. But, I mean, look, man, it's interesting that you brought that up. I mean, now in today's world where we have, the single game parlays and betting and stuff like that, and these lines moving all the time. I mean, man, grabbing boards and those assists and what was assists, what wasn't assists can swing that money line a huge way, man. So, I mean, I can only think.
Officially doing it, yeah.
Right, yeah, if they're really doing it, because, I mean, shit, you got somebody, you got a better and you got them getting 8 boards, and they know a lot of the money's on that, and they could kind of like, oh, that wasn't an assist. He made 2 moves after he caught the ball. That wasn't an assist. You know what I mean? So, I mean, again, man, I think at the end of the day, it's all about staying face with these business owners and like they do. I mean, they're even getting a piece of the pie with the betting and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised at this point, because at some point you got to figure out a way to protect it. So,
all right, I'm going to stir the pot a little bit more. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and let me do this first.
Chef Boyardee Larry over here. Stirring the pot.
Now, with everything that you just got finished talking about, all this stuff that we're sitting here wondering, was it real?
I mean, man.
Was it real?
Bro, no way we could have
multiple years.
Dog, no way we get duped that much, dog. We can't. It couldn't have been draped in front of our faces like that. We just didn't think this boy. Dog, he had a 20-20-20 game. I don't know how much flawed that can be. We missed that. We missed 20-20-20.
They was trying to get him to be a new Oscar Robertson. That's what they was trying to do.
I mean, if they was trying to paint that narrative for him.
For a long time, man. And you know who they trying to be the new Stockton? Chris Paul. I don't know, you know what I mean? And nothing.
No, his injuries didn't allow.
That's what I was gonna say. But he's up there in assists. So I mean, how many of those assists are accurate for him?
But he probably would have beat him. They probably wanted, just to your point, they probably wanted him to be the new leader,
the new Stockton. Like they
but he couldn't.
Westbrook to beat up Robinson. LeBron, the new Jordan. The new Kobe. After Kobe was the Jordan. I don't know, man.
Well, I just wanted to just stir the pot because we don't know exactly how deep that this situation goes. Just in case, we just don't know. We don't know if it's something that we're still dealing with. And during that time, I mean, what was like 3 straight years where he averaged a triple double?
Yeah, I just think nowadays, I think with technology, man, I think a lot of people be pointing stuff out like that now. Back in the day, it was probably a lot easier to blind and hide the fact. Like I said, there's always still so I ain't gonna say a lot of people, but you still obviously got some doubters about the 100-point Wilt game. Obviously, we talked about that before, but I don't know. Nowadays, man, the cap on stats like that, bro, you got too many. Like, look, you just seen, like I said, somebody went back and counted Mahomes' interceptions and watched all his games. You know what I mean? So I think that I don't know. I think the Westbrook, let's just say 85% was true.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe he averaged close to it, but he was out there hooping though. You can't say he definitely wasn't doing that for 3 straight years. You know what I mean? So
I'm just saying, I'm just stirring the pot. So, but something else I want to stir the pot on, and I'm going to lean right towards you, Joel, because I know how much that this subject actually. Here you go, Kev, to make you happy. It grinded your gears. That was Family Guy.
What was that?
Grinded gears.
Oh.
No, Kev, you're the geek in the group. No, like me, so I thought you would. Okay, anyway, so
I like Family Guy, but I didn't like it that much.
Okay. So anyway, just the other day, if it wasn't even a day, whatever. On First Take on ESPN, Stephen A. Smith had this conversation with the panel, and the conversation started off with Bronny, and Molly basically asked, whose fault is it for all this, like basically all the smoke that's going around his son and him being drafted and his now projected draft like slot of where he should actually be drafted. And this is what Stephen A. Smith said.
That this is all his fault. All of it. Let me be very delicate. I'm not joking around. I'm not playing, because I think their family is absolutely beautiful. I think that LeBron James is an incredible role model. I think his wife, Savannah, is just spectacular on every level. Having said that, when we get to Bronny James, that kid has done nothing. The kid has done nothing but work hard, try to get on this game and all of this other stuff. Any attention that he's warranted has been because of his daddy. I want to play with my son. I want to stay here until my son gets to the NBA. We've seen interviews with Savannah and LeBron, and they were asked about Bronny, what did she say? I just want my son to be healthy and happy.
Right.
LeBron, I want to be in the NBA. All right? That's what we want. There's not a crime in that.
No.
No crime in that whatsoever. You can want that. But when you're LeBron James and you've put the word out that you want to be with him, and you put the word out that you want to play with him, and you put the word out that you'll be willing to go to any NBA team that picks him up, knowing the power of LeBron James, how influential he can be, now you got to wonder what team would draft Bronny James just so they could get.
Just so y'all know, the rumor, last I heard about, the Sixers and them drafting, that, Sam Hinkie, Jesus Christ. Lord have mercy. I wish I could go back in time. I was thinking about Sam Hinkie I was thinking about Sam Hinkie earlier with the stuff that he did about the process. Anyway, thank you. With Daryl Morey, he would be the one to go ahead and draft Bronny, like in the middle to the end of the draft, just for an opportunity to have LeBron James. Joel, what you got to say about everything that's going on?
I mean, hell, he might even trade up for that opportunity just so he can, when he calls Bronny, he'll tell him, hey, listen, Bronny, can you put your dad on the phone? And, just let him know to carry your bags when you went on your way to Philly. But, no, I mean, in all honesty, man, like, I just think, and I'm a huge LeBron fan, I just think he handled this the wrong way. I mean, behind closed doors, obviously, you could just talk to your organization if he still wants to be a Laker and just, let them know, like, look, my son's coming up in the draft. If there's any way you can make it happen and draft him or, get some late round picks or something like that to grab him. The way he just set him up. I mean, he's not really playing that well. He's still super green. He had the health scare. So for him to come out and say that, and then even to, I mean, I don't know, you playing the next clip about what he said with the Twitter, Larry?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right,
no problem.
So I'll leave that for that part. But, there was other things that came out of there, too, that were eye-opening. And, before we hopped on, like, I'm a father, and who wouldn't want to play with their kid in a professional setting as far as, being in the NBA or NFL, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? But I feel like the way he's coming across and saying it, like, it's just like, hey, like, I want to play with him, man, wherever he's at. Like, that's where I'm leaning towards going. You know what I mean? Even if that's the case of what he's doing, I don't think he has to voice that. You know what I mean? So I think he's kind of setting himself up and, and making it a lot more difficult,
Gotcha. So I had someone go ahead and go on a mission for me. Kev, my question was going to be, because we know in baseball of father-son type of connections, especially playing with each other. We know that, in baseball, obviously the easy one is the Griffeys.
Vladimir Guerrero.
Yep. So I guess my biggest question at the time was there one in the NFL? Kev, did you find anything?
There was never any father or son playing at the same time, but there has been great duos of all time. I mean, they're looking at the Mannings, obviously Archie, Eli, and Peyton. I mean, and then you got the Lotts, Ronnie Lott, the best safety in football, and his son, who played with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the linebacker. And just recently, Cooper Kupp, his father played. Craig Kupp played in the NFL as well, but not at the same time. We have brothers, the Griffins from Seattle, but
yeah, that's right. They play together. So it's it's a rarity to see the combination of a father-son collab connection on the same exact team. So it would be one of the first times almost ever you would see a father-son connection on an NBA team, which would be, once again, legendary, saying that someone that actually played in the league that long was actually able to actually be there on the same team with his son. that's pretty amazing, and I'm pretty sure LeBron is aiming for that too.
And be careful what you wish for, though, Larry. I'm going to second that. Because say you're on the floor and your son's on the floor with you and somebody takes a hard foul at Bronny, I mean, that's something that's going to come up and it's something that could potentially happen. And I mean, like, I don't know how I would feel about that. I mean, I actually really do know how I would feel about that. But, you know what I mean? You're going to have that fatherly instinct kick in and be like, yo, what you doing, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Say you got a 30, 32-year-old veteran guarding Bronny. He take it to the rack. He get hard foul. Bron there. What you think? He not going to say nothing? Like, I mean, like, that's the other thing where, you know, I like I said, be careful what you wish for because those things do happen. And then not only that, just from the young man standpoint, you know, from Bronny, like I just made it to the NBA. Like now, you know, we going out as a team. Like I'm trying to go party and hang out with my friends and chill. Like I ain't trying to hang around my dad. Like, come on, dude. So it's like one of them things where, yes, there's a lot of great benefits and the first father and son duo on the same team, but there's a lot of things that happen, you know, behind closed doors during practice. You know, is he going to show favoritism to him? Is he going to want him in, you know, running with the first team during practice? A lot of different things that a lot of people that haven't played sports, that haven't factored in, and things, you know, even just traveling in, you know, now he wants him to sit in front of the bus or, you know, in the front of the plane or in the VIP set, whatever the case. All these little things that are going to actually come to light and come into play that, honestly, I don't even think he really thought about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's a lot of things that can happen. You know what I mean? Or even, I mean, we're on the topic now. Say a ref is calling every foul on Bronny. Like LeBron gonna look at the ref and, you know, go talk to him. And you know what I mean? Like certain things like that will arise. And, you know, I guess we're gonna find out, you know, if it does come, if it does happen. But I mean, those are the things where I'm like, man, you better be careful what you wish for, because a lot of them things, I mean, hell, and Tone could probably speak to this better than me. When you on the court, you talking smack to the other player. So if I'm guarding Bronny, what's going to keep me from saying, oh, you going to call your dad over here to set the pick play? Oh, you need your dad on the court? Like, you going to be talking heavy to get in his head. At the same time, you're going to get in Bron's head because he's sitting there listening to you talk to his son all crazy and reckless. Like, it's really only something that could potentially happen, and you'll have someone like Patrick Beverly or imagine freaking, you know, somebody in the league that's going to know, like, all right, I'm going to go foul him, show him some tough love, get LeBron, you know, looking over here a little bit more, you know, whatever the case may be. But that is and potentially is going to happen if they're on the same team. I guarantee you.
On you, Tone.
Yo, all right. So I'll start off, you know, my little rant like this. If we turned on our TV, right, and it was a pickup game of basketball, and Bronny's out there with a white T-shirt on, like we don't know any of the players, you know, on TV, but we just happen to turn the TV on, and those guys are hooping. And I'm talking about, you know, the way he's playing now, even in high school, you know, whenever we ever seen him at the peak, you know, of his game. Would y'all sit back and be like, yo, that dude could come here and help the Sixers next year, like next season? Like, and I'm not trying to like take a shot. I'm not taking a shot at his game or nothing like that, because he was better than I ever was, you know, in high school. Let's just say that. You know what I mean? To say that I'm not coming at this kid's game, because clearly he had a better shot to make the NBA than I did, right? So, but like what I'm saying is, like, Bron, I think was you. First of all, yeah, you're talking as a father. You know what I mean? Because you want your son to make, you know, the highest stage, you know, in the basketball world, you know, as you did. I get that part. That's a no-brainer, because, you know, just like Joel said, that we will all want that for our son. You know what I mean? To make the same league that we played in, that we dominated in, that we're, you know, considered one of the greats in. Yeah, I want my son to follow in those footsteps. So kudos to that. But like, I think what he did was he to me, he talked, and what he said about his son, you said it, and I think a sense of it was like you. You know what I mean? Like you're talking as LeBron James. You know what I mean? Like you're speaking through LeBron James for Bronny James in a sense. You know what I mean? Like you're putting a target on this kid back to hey now, like I said, he's gonna. I'm not saying that he's gonna make the NBA because of his talent, because I don't believe that that's the major deciding factor to any owner or organization that goes into drafting him. It's going to be pretty much a business decision. You know what I mean? I may have a high chance of striking his dad. So do I really want this kid, or do I really want his dad? And then like Stephen A said, man, he's just a kid trying to work hard and play, a sport that he loved, that he grew up watching his dad play. You putting all this pressure on him obviously they're going to try to, the media and then us as fans is going to obviously just put him in his pop shoes. He has to fill those shoes just because he is son. He should be as good, but no. But you know what I mean? Obviously, people are going to do that. So he has that pressure alone. Even if LeBron doesn't stick around and play with him, he has the shoes to fill because of who his pop was. He's going to have to carry that for his whole career. And especially if he don't live up to it, or if he don't win a championship, he's going to hear that for his career, man. And to Joel's point about basketball being like a sport where when you on the court, you talking trash, or it's just, it's very verbal. You know what I mean? Like it's different than maybe baseball or football. I don't know if I don't know. Football is a brutal sport for a father to stick around to play with his son.
Right.
Basketball, man, that's a personal thing. You know what I mean? Because on offense, you're going at a defender, and then on defense, you're trying to defend, the offender. So, you know what I mean? If I'm playing him, I'm talking trash on the street. I'm at his head like, yo, you only here because of your pop. You know what I mean? Like you only in the league because your pop. And then especially if I'm a good player and he's guarding me and I'm cooking him, I'm like, yo, you better come get your son, man. I thought only you was supposed to be able to whoop his ass. You know what I'm saying? And going like, what? I'll be
exactly.
Cooking.
That's coming.
Yeah, like
that's
so.
coming, bro. Then the other thing, real quick before I forget that you just mentioned, the whole other part about that thing is that you just know, like he gonna sit there and say something. He not letting that ride.
Right.
Like it's just wild just for us to think that, you know what I mean, it's just gonna play out well, and it's father and son on the court, and they're doing so well together, and all that stuff. Like it's exactly what you just said. Like, yo, somebody get this little kid, who's this baby on the court? And I'm just, again, fatherly instincts. Like, if I'm on the court and they talking trash and that's my son out there, like, it's on a whole other personal level, man. It's a whole other personal level.
But see, and then, like I said, he's under the pressure because of who his dad is. And then now he has to try to live up to that. And then, like I said, now he's going to probably get somebody's spot in this NBA draft that probably really deserves it, but he's going to take it because of who his dad is. All right, that's neither here nor there. But now, before he maybe even had, it might have been before he had the little, the heart thing, where LeBron, came out and said that his son was good enough to obviously at that moment to be in the NBA, to help out other NBA teams. He said he could help my Lakers, you know what I mean, right now. And he said he was watching the NBA NBA Game Time channel and seeing players that Bronny was better than, you know what I mean? So you say that about your son. And like I said, if that's bigging up your son, that's father, you know what I mean, really backing your son. All right, cool. But knowing that you're LeBron James and you saying that, you stamping that. So, you know what I mean? Everybody's going to listen. They're going to hear that, oh, yeah, this young boy can play in the league right now, today. Okay, he must be must watch. Let's see what he's doing in college. All right, cool. Let's see him rip up the college world. Let's see him be the number one ranked player in the nation. Or shit, at least top 5. Let's see him, you know what I mean, have a 30-point game. Let's just see this dude dominate, the sport that he's playing in first, before you go and say that he can help out an NBA team. You know what I mean? And then now he's being a dad too now, by saying, oh, just let the kid be a kid, you know what I mean, and go to school and do this and do that, right? But who was just bigging him up saying that he could play in the league and that he can, start for some teams or just get some teams some quality minutes? Oh, this is the same guy that said, that The Godfather was one of the best movie, series that he's ever watched. And the lines in the movies was, oh my God, so captivating. So the guy said, oh yeah, LeBron, that's your favorite? It's mine too. What's your favorite line? This guy goes, man, there's so many of them, man, I can't even choose. What? Give me something. You know what I mean? That's like me. You know what I mean? My favorite, TV show back in the day was Martin. And I'll tell you, oh, Martin, oh, Tone, what's your favorite episode? Man, it was so many of them, man, I don't even know which one. Really? Come on, bro. You're a Cap James for a reason. You know what I mean? You gloated and you said all of that about your kid. He's not having the college turnaround. I don't know if you thought he was going to be, top tier, but let that dude go to school. Let him play it out, man. Let him earn his spot to the league without you having to say whichever team drafts him gets me too. That is forcing teams to only draft your son to try to get you, yo. That to me, that's not your son really earning a spot to the NBA. He's making it off of your name.
How do you think he feels? Like, how you think he would feel? It's like, yo, if I get drafted, that's the question. Like, oh, if I get drafted, am I getting drafted because I earned my spot? I did the work. I put in the time. This is my time to shine. Or, okay, maybe I'm G League, designated, but my dad's going to be on the team, so maybe I could go ahead and play. Maybe I can practice with him. You know what I mean? It's just not right.
And that's the other thing too, though. I think for real, LeBron is trying to, I think, just have so many different kind of like accolades on his resume, where the GOAT talk becomes kind of like listen, man, Jordan never did this, Jordan never did that, Jordan never did this, Jordan never did that.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's trying to just one up, I think, notch everything. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it would trump him or put him over any kind of, GOAT debate in my opinion. But doing this for him, you know what I mean? It cements a legacy. It just cements like oh my God, when he was 39, he was still, doing this. Then he stuck around and still dominated with his son, him and his son. It was, he's creating a great, and I'm like I said, I'm not hating on the guy. I'm not saying anything, but he's creating like a great storyline, movie line, like of his life. You know what I mean? Like he will probably be somebody who will get a biopic, movie really, really, really made, about him, how he did it, became a billionaire, why he playing the game. You know what I mean? Like it's like the motto of an athlete is LeBron James. From on the court into off the court with business. And then he'll have this, he played with his son too, thing under that umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He like I said, he's stamping that resume.
I mean, to your point though, Tone, like he's not playing well. And my whole thing is, and something that kind of like made my eye like turn sideways when I saw this thing that I'm about to bring up. But the first thing I gotta say is, with all the ability and all like money not being an issue, and being able to surround your son, not only around yourself, because he's a great player, but being able to surround him around nutritionists, someone that's helping him on defense, someone that's a shooting coach, whatever the case may be, all these programs that obviously a lot of these other college players didn't have access to, their father being LeBron James and all that, but they're performing at a higher level. So flat out right now, I would say, like, even with him having all the tools and being capable of doing pretty much anything or working with anyone in the world. I mean, you probably had people lining up to coach LeBron's son, probably for free, just for some type of accolades. And this dude's still not performing at a high level. And I'm not trying to come down and be hard on him, but like when your dad's talking heavy and putting you on there and talking about that you're better than a lot of these NBA players that are in the league right now, I'm the one that steps back and look at the whole situation. I'm like, look, money's not an issue. You could have worked with anyone during your upbringing, during your teenage years, all the way up until this point, and you still not even the best college player. I think you already, not making the, hitting the bar that you was already set out to be at. You know what I mean? And then the one thing that pissed me off when I saw it was that somebody actually dug this up and they looked up a player comp. And the player comp was Jimmy Butler because his numbers are identical right now in the college game as they were with Jimmy Butler. But guess what? Jimmy Butler's dad wasn't LeBron James. Jimmy Butler's dad probably couldn't afford, you know what I mean? Like the dude came up through a tough upbringing. He didn't have all these things. So like for them to sit there and compare Jimmy Butler's college career to Bronny's college career, because obviously the foundation of that comes between your high school ball and all that stuff. To me, I was like, damn, that was like a bad comp because these two players, one didn't really have nothing. It came all from the muscle, and Jimmy Butler really just came out of nowhere, and that was straight up hard work and dedication, and he did what he needed to do to become the player that he is today. And he didn't have all these things that Bronny had. So when I saw that, I was like, damn, that was kind of messed up. You know what I mean? But, I mean, to me, I hope it turns out well. But I think there's a lot of things that are going to come into play, especially if they're on the same team. Like, I think there's a lot of things that are going to come into play. You know what I mean? On and off the court, in the locker room, different things like that. You know what I mean? There's a reason why big companies don't want family members working together, let alone, you know what I mean, something like that. But it's gonna be interesting, man. And I mean, like I always say, we're gonna be right here, ready to talk about it when it comes down.
I got a question for you. What round was Jimmy Butler drafted in?
I want to say it
was the last pick.
Last pick. I want to say 20. I mean, I can pull it up. You got it, Kev?
Yeah, I got it. Yep, he went first round, pick 30.
Last pick. So you can basically say, one or two things. Either one, he was pretty close to, if not being a second round draft pick, or you can say that the beginning people in the second round was pretty much the first round draft pick. Either one of the ways you can look at it, you can. I'm going to look at it from the point of view of Jimmy Butler was close enough to be a second round draft pick. Now, that don't sound like that's what it should be when it comes to Bronny James.
No.
You know, just off the strength of saying that, yeah, Bronny, I know who your dad is, but you're probably going to get drafted at the end of the first round, the beginning of the second round, just like Jimmy Butler did. But guess what? Jimmy Butler had the hunger to go ahead and to make him who he is right now. Now, Bronny has his dad. He's playing for the love of the sport and the love of the game. Is he playing for the hunger of everything else with it? That's where it becomes interesting. That's where it becomes tough. And, I mean, heart issues. I mean, thank God we was praying for the man. Thank God that, you know, he made it past those things. He made it past those issues for him to go ahead and keep on playing now. But, you know, like heart issues or health issues or health scares and stuff like that, I don't care what nobody's saying. That actually starts to temper some of the hunger that you have to play the game. As soon as you start saying like, oh, he almost died. You know what I mean? So how hungry is this man, is this young man, being the fact that, yo, like he tried his best. He played for the love of the game. but he good because my dad is still going to take care of everything. And here's a little a little take. I actually think that his younger brother may be better than him.
He really is. and that's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like Tune said, he's not even top 5 in college. Like, dude, like with all these tools and things at your disposal to obviously coming up and playing the game and learning from your father, which is, you know, the best player right now in the NBA. And you're sitting there talking about some like, you're not even, you know, you fell far from the tree as of right now. Like, you know what I mean? And I do agree with you though. Like the younger brother Bryce is definitely going to be the better player out of the two. But I don't know if LeBron's going to be around that long.
No, he's not.
That, son.
No, he's not. No, he's not. But it's crazy. Like, I wish him nothing but the absolute best. I'm sure all of us want that. But I'm just sick and tired of me going through my YouTube suggestions. They say like, "Oh, Bronny James went off on this game." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Let's see what Bronny James did." Finishing stats: 5 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. I'm like, how he go off?
Yo, like, it was one game. It was one game when he first came back. It was, you know, a few games after that. He trailed the play, and then he got a trailing block, like how his, you know, dad, you know, signature trailing James block, right? And when they showed the play, it was a great block. You know what I mean? Not saying they should have highlighted it, but it was the commentary afterwards. Like it was the commentary was like, oh my God, you just see the athleticism. You know, this kid is just ready for the NBA. And I'm just like, no. Not because this man got a breakaway, block. Like, he's ready for the NBA. Like, it's just like the way they just pump up these players, man, to try to just sell them as if they're as good as their advertising, man. Like, let their play speak for itself, man. Yeah, other than, like I said, other than him being the James and then his dad saying what he said about him. It's like this kid has to average 20 plus, like, or they're gonna say, you have to, you know what I mean? Like, there's no in between. You can't average 5 points, like, you know what I mean? And then, expect to make the NBA. I don't know. I just thought you had to be good.
So listen.
You know what I mean? Like, you just said 5 points, man. Like,
you just said he got to average what? 20?
Uh-huh.
All right, so let me ask you this. This year in college, how many times did he score over double digits?
I'm going to say 2.
Super close. 3.
No.
And what was the highest?
15, 14, I think.
15, right on the nose.
Yeah, I remember seeing the highlight. He was like, "Oh, he went off. He had his career high." I'm like, 15. Okay.
25 minutes in this one game, and he scored nothing. I'm looking at it. He scored 0 twice, 2 points, 1, 2, 3, 4 on multiple occasions. Like, dude, like, these stats are like, and you want this guy to get drafted in the NBA, and again, like, I mean, teams are gonna take him, and as soon as they make that
because you know what he's trying
to
do too. He want his son to be a lottery pick, so they can be the first father's son do all the lottery.
No way, man. There's no way, dude. I'm looking at the stats right now, like, as we were talking, and you said that signature block. You know how many blocks he has for the year? 4.
That one.
4. There's 4 of them.
He got 4 signature blocks.
4 blocks. The signature block that you was talking about.
So Joel, you're telling me that this guy right here could probably be a top pick by just one play?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Listen, I won't average any blocks though. He would definitely have more blocks than.
That's
4 blocks.
So So here's my question. I don't think he's coming out into the in the NBA draft this year. I mean, if he's wise, first off, why he picked that team to even go to? Why USC? But
It's Southern California. That's Southern
California. I mean, that's the only California team he can go to.
Southern California.
But
and then maybe he ain't want his son to go to a school with that kind of reputation in basketball.
That was competitive and had better players.
They got that championship. They got that
Oh.
championship mentality. You know what I mean?
Like coach that would have been like, I don't care who your dad is, you getting sick if you can play. That kind of school.
Yeah, I mean, it would have probably been a better situation for him.
What would have been a great situation for him to be in Villanova. To be in the school that Jay Wright is right there helping out, and for sure he's going to be there for 4 years, and his skills is going to be at the max that it's going to be, and then he can make it into the league. Not USC. I don't see it. Anyway. So, let's go ahead and close it out from there, man, because we can go ahead and talk some more about this. Next week, we're definitely going to go ahead and touch on the NFL draft combine and everything that happened there that's actually going on right now. Because as an Eagles fan, we're definitely looking for a certain type of player. I love the combine. I don't know about you, Kev. You don't care. I love the combine personally. Just to see these players. These players. Yeah, I'm with it.
I mean, it's already announced that the 2 top quarterbacks are not even going to be there, and it's been like that for a couple of years. I just think it's going to start looking like that a lot more. These 5-star kids, it's going to go top 5, top 3. Won't even do the combine, just do their pro days, because combine it's not really that important.
Well,
I don't care how high someone can jump. I'm sorry.
Well, it's not about that. It's about the drills. It's about the competitiveness. I mean, I personally love the combine. I mean, I always have. So anyway, so we'll go ahead and touch into or get into that conversation next week. So look, let's go ahead and close out. Kev, what's your last words for the day, brother?
Nothing. Just thanks for watching. I didn't really talk much.
That's okay, Stack Kev. I got you for next time.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
That's what we do.
Hey, Kev, we appreciate your support and you being here on the panel with us today. I appreciate you. But no, man, listen, thank you guys for tuning in. We're trying to be a little bit more on a consistent basis so that way you guys can tune in. But just like we always say, like, subscribe, drop in a comment, share, especially share, but please subscribe. That's the main important thing. Bird Gang, salute.
Promoter on the track. I'm about to fit some bars. I'm trying to get it up in my star. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just rapping and click-clacking. I don't know what I'm doing, but come on my show and I'm ruining it. It's like, no, but I don't know what I'm getting into, but I thank y'all for tuning in, man. Tuning in to GNT Sports, man. We have fun, man. We thank y'all for joining us. Like they said, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. You know what I mean? We'll follow back. We show love the same way. And just like I say, every show, man, every third Friday of every month, I got a comedy show. It's called Laugh the Pain Away. You know what I mean? You got your little poetry. You got your little comedy. You know what I mean? We get you all up in there, get you emotional, sad, happy, whatever you might want to cry, hit you with the poems, you know what I mean? But you got to laugh that pain away. You know what I mean? So then that's when we bring the comedians up. They do their thing. Free wine. We get wine drunk down there, y'all. Tickets is on sale right now. Y'all follow me at Tony Promoter. The little prompt coming down at the screen right there. I see it. It's going across the screen. Follow me on Instagram. Tickets right now is $15. They go up $5 every week, though. So y'all might want to jump on that early bird special today, tonight, tomorrow, whenever. Bring a date. Come out, hang with me, y'all. Laugh the pain away. Let's get it. And always tune in to GNT Sports every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, man. We here. Let's get it.
Hey, look, as always, we want to thank y'all guys for tuning in. Hey, look, where would we be right now if it wasn't for y'all guys? So we appreciate all y'all guys watch. Hey, look, more to come, guys. More to come. We have a lot more. Was that a pause moment? Okay, we're going to let it slide. So, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We need all the love, all the comments, all the everything from y'all guys. We appreciate y'all from the highest. You got nothing else. We'll see y'all next week. Until then, peace.